the time. And so from that place, we're going to be on that comfortable timeline, quote unquote, which may not be, providing us with the thrill of being alive and the miracle of being alive and remembering that we're divine, creative, sovereign beings of light, ready to frickin' rock, this planet onto another realm of collective existence. And, I've seen New Earth my whole life, and I didn't understand why everybody couldn't see this, amazing timeline. It's like right there. What do you mean? Why aren't we all on it? And, and it's like we're all doing our part to help humanity, help us reclaim our planet in love and help humanity get on this love-based timeline. And we do that, one heart at a time. And when you're living in a love-based timeline, your frequency is rippling out and touching, all the fields around you, whether you're in the grocery store or the doctor's office or wherever you are, that pulse of look over here, right, is being beamed out. So the more of us who are on this path of love are sending that signal of love out for more people who are more embedded in the old world to be like, hey, is there another way here?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I am so glad that you talked about the body in this because in my research as well, like the body is in the nervous system and all of those somatic reactions to a new timeline, to new possibilities, and that unease is what locks us in. And it's really interesting because it almost feels like, distortion patterns that kind of keep us in line whenever we try to step out. Now, some of this could be ours, could also just be kind of the collective, but tell me about what you see in the bodies because you work at a multitude of levels. And so when you see someone trying to move out of a timeline and the body is not holding that, what do you see? What does that look like?
It can look like a lot of things. I mean, that first 7 years, again, is such a pivotal time. It can go into the womb even in that time.
Mm,
And, if we get an inversion program where safety, for instance, equals unsafety, safety, isn't safe. It's actually unsafety, right? And unsafety feels safe if that, so any kind of childhood trauma, any kind of, big schisms in our early life, that will create a loop from that time forward that every time the nervous system goes into peace or safety, it feels unsafe. And then unsafety feels totally normal, chaos feels normal, stress feels
yes.
normal. And
Yeah.
so I'd say that, if our first year of colleges, for all the kids
Mm,
graduating and going to college, if their first class on day one was healing their inner child 101, we would live in a different world. Like we really would. Because those early programs would be identified, they would be seen, they would be witnessed, and a new program could come in that says, no, you're worthy and deserving, no matter what your past looks like, no matter what happened. So that's probably my number one. And then we can also have things in other timelines, past lives, things in our DNA from ancestors, et cetera, et
wow.
cetera. Yeah.
What does an outdated, thank you, Tanya, that's amazing, and I agree with you on that. What does an outdated timeline look like? What are the signs that maybe we're living in a timeline that we've outgrown and now it's time to jump, in the words of Burt Goldman, quantum jump into something else, maybe.
Exhaustion,
Mm,
overwhelm, in that stress response.
yeah.
Uh, Also dull, like just, like you're wearing, glasses with a dull
Mm,
tint to it, where life just kind of feels rote and dull and Groundhog Day effect, where there's just not enough lighting you up, or feeling like you're just missing something or behind, or, not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah.
All of those things.
Can I add another one that I've found? When there's no magic.
Yeah.
When you're not surprised every day that, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. That's crazy that person wrote me. That's crazy I got this opportunity. Or that's crazy that, this thing presented itself. When you don't have that happening consistently, you're just not on the ascendant timeline. you're just kind of slogging through like yeah, it's the same old stuff timeline. So let me know, everyone, do you feel like maybe you are on the ascendant timeline, or would you say like on the descendant timeline? You can type in the chat A for ascendant, like, oh yeah, man, things are just, going amazing, and or D for like, just kind of going like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm very
Or I'll
curious.
add or
Yeah.
yo-yoing or add it or back and forth. Like
Yes.
one day you're like, yeah, I'm on fire, everything's great. And then the next 3 days you're like, oh, and then it comes, so there can be that, this kind of yo-yo effect too, where everything seems to be working, that, 10 steps forward, and then all of a sudden it's like 20 steps back, and I'm like even further behind than I thought I was. And yeah, that can sometimes be part of it too.
All right, we're asking folks, are you in the ascendant, descendant, or as Tanya's talked about, the yo-yo timeline, which I like that name. Although I don't want to be on the yo-yo. Christina says fluctuating and surfing. Well, I love that you're surfing the whole thing because, yeah, surf it like a wave, baby. Why not? Brenda says yo-yo. Martine says the A timeline. That's awesome. Penny back and forth. Yo-yo says Kathleen, especially since the new year started. Nina, the yo-yo. Yo-yo for Doris. Fluctuating says Melinda. A for Suzanne. Erica says D. Descendant. Well, I'm glad there's people on the yo-yo. That's good though, because right, that's a little bit of a breakout. It's just you kind of fall back. What do you find might put people on a yo-yo timeline? Because I think here on the show they kind of know it's like, okay, I could do this, and then like you get a taste, and then you pop back down maybe.
Yeah. Um, Fear,
Yeah, yeah.
and that can show up in a whole, and we all have them, you know. It's believing in the fear
Mm,
over the what's on the other side of it,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, this is fun. So, one of the things that you focus on is abundance. And abundance is just, it's one of those things, right? It's like in our face. It's like everywhere. As so much is going on in the world, we are kind of face to face with it more now than ever. What are some of the signs maybe that the abundance timeline you're on is now maybe moving into more of a lack type energy, or maybe you need to shift into a different phase or a phase shift? What would be some signs of that?
There's a bunch coming in around this. Give me 1 second. Pick up the so receivers. So a lot of us here, in your community, I'm sure, we're givers. Like we just love to give. And, in order to give more, we need to be able to receive more.
Mm,
So, in a lot of the scans I do, I see them as, receivers and transmitters, right? Like we're just our whole system of, our hands, receivers and transmitting, right? We are always
okay.
receiving through our hands, we're always transmitting through our hands. Our crowns are receivers and transmitters, right? Every thread of hair is a transmitter. It's sending our signal out, right? So as givers, our transmitters are usually on, like,
Okay.
when I scan your average, in a client session, in an average client session, if I'm scanning their receivers and transmitters, their transmitters will be on 99%, and their receivers will be on like 10, 20.
So they're putting out
They're
energy
putting out,
versus receiving.
but being able, and so that's usually core wounds of unworthiness, undeservingness, having to earn approval, having to earn rewards, having to earn success, right? And so, and we live in this culture where, the purpose of life is accumulation. It's, how much do you have? What do you make? It's almost like, especially here in the States, the purpose of life is money and earning, right? So if we can unhook from that paradigm and say the purpose of life is life, and I don't have to earn money, I get to create it, right? Ask Elon Musk the
Wow.
last time he earned a dollar,
You would
right?
be like, what?
He'd be like,
Say
what are you
that again,
talking about?
Tanya. You got to say that again so we can write it down. Everyone, please, we're going to take notes. Say that again. I hope it comes back through the field here. What did you just say?
When was the last time Elon Musk earned a dollar?
Oh, before that though,
Oh, before that.
the focus is not making money, but you said
Okay,
I
so
think
the purpose of life is not
okay.
the purpose in this in the 3D, the purpose of life is money, right? Accumulating. The in the 5D and above, the purpose of life is life. And we don't have to earn, we just have to create. It's not about earning that. It's creating the field to be supported and receiving so our inner and outer purposes are fully resourced. And we don't have to earn that. It's
I love
simply
that.
co-creating with life in order to produce that overflow that we would like to play with and
I love
express
that.
ourselves with and generate more life with.
And everyone feel into, let's just play the timeline here. What would that look like for you? Like, imagine yourself, maybe like a doppelganger, right? This version of you that is living that timeline. What does it look like? What are you doing? How are you spending your time? How do you move? How do you act? How do you
And
look?
right and right there,
Yeah.
do you feel the resistance? Do you feel that resistance in just asking that question?
Yeah, some might. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because it's like, well, what if that doesn't happen? What if
Mhm.
that's wishful thinking? What if that's just that ease isn't for me? So it's easier to stay in that comfort zone than reach higher because of the letdown if it doesn't happen. That's the fear.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And some people may feel tightness in their body. Like it
Yeah.
feels good for a moment, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to focus on that. And then in 5 minutes, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel sick. I feel nervous. I feel unsafe. I
Yeah.
feel so much anxiety. And then you're like, what do I do? You go back to the old timeline. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a, I mean,
Yeah.
we could get
And we
into
get
like
pulled
a,
out and we get pulled
yeah,
out in the biggest places I see in the body where it happens, the diaphragm, the front heart, the back heart, and the brainstem and the belly
really?
button. Yeah. So
Okay.
those points is usually where that resistance trigger, like, nope, no, 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 not safe. Because, I got let down this time. I got the rug pulled out of me that time. I got betrayed over here. I got, this happened over there, that those cellular memories get lit up
Hmm.
and it's not safe to dream. So we want to clear the resistance to the safety of desires, to the safety of wanting more, the safety of being in that flow state. We want that resistance to be met, to be seen, to be felt, to be witnessed, and transmuted and alchemized back into wholeness so the body feels safe in saying, yes, I deserve more.
Amazing. Yes, I agree. I love it. A lot of people enjoying this. I can see. Thank you, Christina, for that fire. We're going to take some live callers. I want to talk a little bit about how you see energy because, when you dive in and you say, this is where I see this as an intuitive, as an energy worker, that is so powerful. It's like literally having a precision instrument being able to go pinpoint this is right where it's happening. This is right what's going on. This is what is showing up and when it happened or where it happened, etc. Explain a little bit about how you opened up, Tanya, and then kind of what you see from that open space because we're gonna see some things maybe today that are gonna show up in some folks.
So my early gifts really came on with massage. So I was giving little old ladies foot rubs that I delivered papers to when I was 12, and I have what I call MRI fingers, where I can just, when I'm giving someone body work, like my hands just have a mind of their own. I don't think, I
Mhm.
don't, nothing. Like I completely go somewhere else, and then my hands just know what to do. And at some point along the journey of becoming a coach and learning quantum physics and organizational development, I went through a master's program in that. I exited that, kind of figured out I don't want to necessarily do what I was trained to do, but
Yeah.
wait, I do energy work, I do Reiki, I do all this stuff. Maybe I can bring the two together. And I realized that those MRI fingers work remotely. And so, like, my team shows me, and when I say my team, like, it's a combination of my higher self, my record keepers, and then several galactic teams and councils. So, I've met with the intergalactics in dream time. I've been a dream walker my whole life. I've had more cosmic experiences than I can count. And somehow I was just able to pull all of that together and weave it into what I do every day. And so when I come in relatively blank, and then I'm shown, okay, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the different body parts will light up, different things in the aura will
Hmm.
light up, timelines will light up. Like, that's like a 50,000-year-old loop. Let's go ahead and close that, right? So it's very much a clear knowing and a clear understanding, as well as feeling things as little tinges in my body, showing me where the energy is going and what we're focusing on.
I love that because you will be able to see, perhaps in some folks today, kind of what timeline they're on, what's going on, where it's pinging or pinged or stuck or in impingement is. And this is going to be really valuable for people to move forward. And, I do want to get into the whole galactic thing because there is a bigger story for all of us to actually raise up into that timeline. You're actually helping countless people when you do that. It's not selfish to want to be on your ascendant timeline, not at all. But what I want to do, Tanya, is we've got Dottie who wrote to me and actually chatted with me early. I'm going to unmute you, Dottie, and then we're going to start and kick off this Q&A with Dottie. Now, what do you need from folks? I know you work amazingly well and powerfully, but it's been a while since we've done this. So what information would you like from some of the callers?
I'm hearing let's do some abundance. Let's do
Okay.
some receivers in abundance, like really knowing that we are worthy and deserving of having our inner and outer purposes fully resourced and financed, and to where abundance is just our natural state instead of feeling a separation. So let me ask them the best way to scan this. Let me just
Okay.
tune in here. Yeah, let's just scan the percentage of receivers that are on. So like, we'll do everyone, I can kind of scan the whole group that's here live. Everyone's transmitters are over 90%. So
Okay.
we've got a big group of givers here. Why don't we scan for everyone's receiving percentage, and then we'll do spot clearings on raising that. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very curious about that receiver percentage, but we're going to get that. So, Dottie, if you have a question around that, or maybe there's just something else you want to
Yeah,
ask Tanya, but
exactly.
whatever, we're here for you. Dottie, what can we help you with?
Well, first of all, I want to say Lydia had her hand raised, so I'm sorry if you got skipped in the process. I apologize wholeheartedly. But I hope you don't mind if I talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have always felt like there was something else out there that I was supposed to be doing, and I had a lot of people in my life that were just very, very mean, and they made me close myself off from all of my guests. I mean, at one point, I just decided that it was better not to do anything. To just, like you said, survive, work, accumulate, make sure my family was supported. And in the last 5 years, my body just shut down. It was like, done. And I've been trying to move to that other field, that other version of me, the best mom, the best, human, that I can help other people, because I've been through so much in my lifetime that I feel like I need to do that. But I also feel like that there's a part of me that needs to be fixed before I can do that. And I don't really know what to do. I don't know how to overcome that. It's kind of like that feeling when you get a tarot reading and you're like, oh my God, everything makes so much sense. And yes, that's me. And you're like, for the next couple of days, you're like, oh, this is going to be great. And then
Mm.
it hits you, like she said, you go back into that scarcity, that fear, and you just end up right back where you started. I just, for some reason, I just can't move forward, and I don't know why, and it's killing me. It's settled in my stomach. I have an ulcer that I'm supposed to be on medicine for the rest of my life. Um, I've,
Okay.
yeah, I could go on, but yeah. So but the moving through parallel worlds, I've read that book. I've read all about it, and I absolutely love the idea. I just don't know how to bring all that information in my head to my heart and my body and say that it's okay, because no matter what
Yeah.
I do, I can't get past that.
Well, that's where this type of work is a little different. It's not going to focus on the head. We're going to dive in and kind of see where the
Well,
energy is, maybe something that's blocking
Yeah.
you. So, Tanya,
Yeah.
what do you sense?
So
What's coming in?
we're gonna do a few things here, if that's okay. So first of
oh yeah.
all, thank you for sharing all of that, and I and letting your voice speak. You have a very powerful voice, and she's just, hasn't always had the microphone she needed, and that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I believe, so I want you to first, if it's okay, to repeat after me. I believe that a new thriving timeline is here for me.
I believe that a new timing thrive or new time thrive line
Thriving.
is here.
Yeah,
Thriving
no, that's okay.
timeline
Yeah.
is here for me.
Okay, so just let that sink in first. So I believe that a new thriving timeline is here for me.
I believe that a new thriving timeline is here for me.
Okay, so I want just that. So coming out of the head, letting yourself get into your body, maybe placing your hand on your heart and just saying, everything I need is right here. And just let that knowingness, I'm going to say, penetrate. I truly believe with every atom of my being that a new thriving timeline is here to support me. So as this is dropping in, we're going to ask for a timeline collapse here. We're going to ask for the resistance to that being true to exit the room. We're going to ask for the outdated timelines that are no longer serving your ultimate highest and best good to collapse, to alchemize, calling in your healed ancestors, calling in your teams, calling in your higher self, calling in every single multidimensional support that's available to you right here, right now, calling in all the voices that are gathered on this call, cheering on a new timeline for you. When two or more are gathered, we have almost 100 people right here, right now, and on replay, like sending you love. Yes, we believe that a miracle timeline shift is possible for you. We believe you can step out of the past and into a new thriving timeline. We believe in you. We believe in you. You're not alone. We got you. We got you. Feel that. We've got you.
Yeah, I
Heck yeah.
do.
Yeah, heck
I
yeah.
do.
Now, and goosebumps head to toe. So now I believe a new thriving timeline is here to support me.
I believe a new thriving timeline is here to support me.
And I forgive and release the past.
I forgive and release the past.
Thank you for the lessons.
Thank you for the lessons.
Thank you for the growth.
Thank you for the growth.
Thank you for every person who told me no so I could find my inner yes.
Thank you for every person that told me no so I could find my inner yes. And I do. I feel it right in the middle of my chest, and it's like anxiety, and I want to push it away so bad, but
Yeah, lean in, lean in.
no, I'm not
You're
going to.
supported. Yep, lean in, lean in. It's okay. You're safe. We face the fear to get on the other side of it. And
Thank
whatever fear is there is never as facing it is never as hard as it was on how it got created, right? Living
you.
through whatever we lived through that caused or created that fear, facing it is never as hard as it is as its creation point ever. We
No, you're
lived
right.
through it. We got through it.
You're right.
We withstood the waves.
Well, I always have said that I would never relive the pain, but I wouldn't change anything that's happened to me because it made me who I am today.
Exactly. And who you are today is beautiful. So that unconditional self-love, that unconditional self-appreciation, that unconditional self-worth, self-empowerment, that is the new timeline. And so the nervous system is like, right? That's the
Yeah.
resistance that we're saying bye to. That's the old timelines that we're saying goodbye to. That's the loops and the cycles and any and all places where there was an inability to fly. That's what we're saying goodbye to and saying, no, I give life permission to bless me back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Whew.
Thank you, Dottie.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, amazing. Well, that is incredible. All right, we're gonna send Dottie off in love and let that continue as she's now collapsing different waves into particles into new
One, two.
timelines. Yeah.
So, so her receivers were about 15% on when we started. They're like at 85 now.
Wow.
And she is literally collapsing over 12,000 timelines with that. So
Whoa.
that was a big one. Dottie, good job. And you know, just you don't have to do anything. All that let the organizing principle of love work on your behalf and just I forgive and release the past and I'm willing to remember who I am. And just those just stay with that and in any part of that doubt or that, old voices that come up, just give them hugs. How can I love you today? How can I hug you today? Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. We're going to go to the next caller. I know after that, a lot of people are wanting some more support. Just incredible. And I want to let everyone know as well, with the new year around the corner, a lot of people wanting to shift. Tanja has private time that is still available, and we're going to talk about that. But be thinking if you saw a shift or felt a shift in the 5 minutes, what will it be like to have some personal time, right? Just private, you and Tanja James. Amazing. That is a timeline shift if I've ever seen one. I'm going to go to Kathleen S. Kathleen, sending you an unmute request, Kathleen, and whenever you are on, just let us know. There you are. Hi, Kathleen. You're welcome to turn on your video if you want or not. What is going on? Oh, I just can't hear you. She's going to fix her audio.
Can you hear me now?
I sure
Yes.
can. Awesome.
I can't really hear you, but that's all right. We're going to work on it.
Oh, no. Okay. Can you hear us now? Can you hear
Yeah, I
us?
can hear you. I think it's my
Okay,
phone.
great.
It's fine.
Okay.
Tanja, no, I'm so excited to talk to you today. It's funny you were talking about receiving because that was actually my question. Um, I don't seem to ever be open to receiving, and I kind of sabotage, I think, myself when I'm ready to receive, and I think I am. Um, like right now, near the end of the year, I thought everything was going smooth. I was ready for, a new timeline shift. I was getting all these synchronicities.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, some stuff's been happening in my life. And now I have all these old insecurities and issues coming up, like just paranoid about things, kind of thinking about like the worst case scenario. So I don't know if I'm trying to sabotage myself, like I'm just not deserving of it. But it's one of those things where I thought I worked through it. I thought I worked through this. And
Well,
it's back.
yeah. Well, and as we know, healing isn't linear. Again, 3D tells us there's a point A and a point B and a point C, and we're not seeing the spiral. And that when we loop around to where something repeats itself, it's just a deeper rung of the spiral. And it's not about the A to Z as much as it is how is this teaching me? You
Yes.
know, how is this helping me grow? What am I learning through another layer of this thing, of this pattern coming up? How am I growing because of this? So I'm going to do a couple things here. First of all, I give my nervous system to permission to reset into safety.
I give my nervous system permission to reset into safety.
Okay. So right there, let everything that's not allowing that safety reset to come up for a moment in the field, nothing to force, no efforting here, no overthinking, just let yourself come into this knowing that whatever is stopping this nervous system, safety reset, please Subconsciously, unconsciously, consciously come forward. And let's go to the root of the root of the root of the root of it, please. Past life. 13 specific past lives light up with this right away. It's shown itself as betrayal in this lifetime the most, without getting too deep into that. So I've learned everything I needed to learn from the timeline loops of betrayal. And I'm ready to allow my nervous system to reset into safety. And feel that resistance again. There it is.
Yeah.
Where are you feeling it the most?
I feel it in like my stomach area and kind of in like my
Yeah.
heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's bring in 1, 2, 3 crystals actually. So we're going to bring in some orbs here. I'm going to ask for a Lumerian clear quartz orb to float in front of the Dantian, which is just below the belly button, to float in front of the heart. And we're going to have a nice golden healing orb above your head. This one's about like a foot wide. So we're just going to bring these 3 Lumerian orbs in. And the one above your head is turning on your receivers and just allowing this golden light to flow into your crown. And the 2 in front of your heart and Dantian are pulling out the resistance. And just let this happen. I'm not alone. I am not alone. I am supported here. I am willing, ready, and able to believe in the magnificence of my being, in the brilliance of my soul, in the luminosity of my light, in the depth of my love. I'm willing, ready, and able to release the resistance that's been stored in my cells, in my tissues, in my anatomy, in my nervous system, in my auric field, in my DNA, and collapse and release and let go of these outdated timelines that are no longer serving my forward potential, movement, flow. I forgive and release what's here. And I invite the organizing principle of love to help me reclaim my sovereignty in every layer, in every facet of my being. Now. There we go. I give my nervous system permission to reset into safety. Try that again.
I give my nervous system permission to reset into safety.
And just, yes.
There's a lot going on there.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that was a lot. But the guides and the teams, they never get, they always deliver the right combination of medicines, right? To get the job done and also have it be as little intensity as possible.
Right. It's
You
just been a
know,
rough couple days. So I'm like, yeah.
yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. So hold on and notice how the mind just went right into the storm. And, we never see the gift of the storm in the middle of the storm, right? We're Dorothy, our house is getting blown away. We're not going to see the gift
Right.
of that in the moment of it. It's after words where we can see how the storm cleared the way for the new to come in. that's when we can see the gift of the storm.
It's weird because I do that. I'll look back and say, oh, well, that happened because of this. And I feel like I'm over. And then 10 minutes later, I'm back in it again. There's just
So keep giving that part hugs. When it
okay.
circles into that, what do you need? How can I help you? Right? Can I just give that part of me a hug? Because all she's asking for, all those parts are asking for, is acceptance and love
Yeah.
and presence. And, as we work with that muscle of just giving that part, then our receivers can turn on more.
Okay.
Right?
That monkey brain keeps
Yeah,
telling me stories, and then
yeah. So I give my receivers permission to turn on now that your nervous system is on board with safety. Doesn't need to be in that zone 24/7 because we're human in order for our receivers to start turning on. Like a full nervous system reset can take a couple of years from a body physical perspective, right? That doesn't mean we have to wait that long for that new timeline to be supporting us and for our receivers to be on and be in flow as our nervous system is recalibrating into safety.
amazing.
Okay. So I give permission for my receivers to turn on.
I give permission for my receivers to turn on.
So right there, we're going to just ask for that. Mother Earth, come in. Thank you. Pachamama, open that back heart for Kathleen today. Safe to receive her love and her support and her wisdom and her guidance and her rivers and her waterfalls and her skies and her oceans. There we go. I give my receivers permission to turn on.
I give my receivers permission to turn on.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel so heavy anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And they turned on to 93% just in that.
Oh, yay.
So yeah. So just, relief is here to support you. So when that comes up, just I breathe in relief and I breathe out fear.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for
You're
raising your.
amazing, and you're so generous with your time, and a session with you is amazing. I've talked to you many times, so I appreciate it. I appreciate your time today.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kathleen.
Darius, for having her on.
Absolutely. No, we love Tanya. I love it. And I love this process. I love what we're doing. So we're going to go to another person real quick here. And I have something for everyone. We're going to be doing an abundance reactivation process around these timelines. So let me go to the next person. And there's so many things with this that are so exciting. And, the parts of us that could be holding us back, they have a purpose. They maybe have a voice. Parts therapy is really important with this too, is like, listen, what is that part of us trying to tell us? Or what is it that it needs? What is it that it's, concerned about? And there's so many ways that we can actually begin to realign to that timeline. And we're going to get into some more here. So I'm really excited what's opening up for people. You don't have to see this as just a one and done, just like you said, Tanya. I love the analogy of the spirals. Like, okay, yeah, you are revisiting that issue, but now you might be seeing a different facet, or you're higher up and it's now a little different. How is it different? Well, we're going to dive into that. So let's go to another guest here. Looks like we are going to go to, looks like Haya, H-A-Y-A. And Haya, H-A-Y-A, just so I don't pronounce it wrong with my Texas accent, how are you doing today? Sending you an unmute request. Let's see if we can get her on, hopefully. There we are. What's going on, Haya?
Hi, Darius. Hi, Tanya. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, good. How have you been doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thank you so much. This is great. I listened to the first call with Tanya like
Yeah.
last fall, so I really enjoyed that. So I'm happy to, be able to connect with her again.
Awesome. What's
Uh,
been going on?
yeah, well, I actually had something very specific to ask Tanya for help with, and I understand that this might be something to take into a session. So I just wanted to see what Tanya is able to kind of give me a glimpse of. And which is basically that um, something that I've become aware of is that I've been carrying this imprint of feeling like the divine is absent in my life. And that's been like a lifelong thing that I experienced as a child. And it's just, you can imagine that touches every area of your life. You know, if you feel like your prayers are not responded to, or you're just not responded to in any kind of way. And so I was just wanting Tanya's insight on what could possibly help with shifting this. So yeah, that's what it is. This feeling of divine absence or like abandonment. Um, yeah.
Perfect.
Well, they're showing me the spine immediately, and they're actually showing me a false grid, like an inverted spinal template. So the first thing I'm going to ask for support with here for you is just all false templates, inverted templates, distortion templates, to be forgiven, collapsed in divinity for your ultimate highest and best good now. And for your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious to be on board with that collapsing. Like, I've learned everything I needed to learn from this, these lessons of experiencing extreme separation from love. And I give permission for all the false grids and templates to be reverted into wholeness and my divine blueprint. There you go. So just breathe this in. And they're showing me almost like a cork, like a corkscrew. And it's like if you plunge that corkscrew to pull out the cork, that they're just spiraling that all the way down to your feet, actually. So it's going, I know it's kind of a harsh analogy, but it's just kind of going in and pulling out the false grid. Gently, please. And then just filling it in with the divine template, your highest aspect of your soul architecture and soul architect and higher self. And reverting anything inverted or distorted back into wholeness. And according to your higher self specifications and your sovereign new earth template blueprint now. Just letting that happen. And I give myself permission to experience oneness again. Go ahead and say that when you feel ready to say that. That was a lot.
Yeah. Can you please repeat that? I give myself permission to
experience oneness again.
Okay. I give myself permission to experience oneness again.
Okay. So right there's resistance. So we're going to ask for any like identity structures or mental constructs.
Yeah, I can feel
timelines. Yeah, old timelines, ancestral pieces, whatever resistance is still left. That spinal reset is about a 1, 2, 3 week process. So we're just going to bring in the timeline 3 weeks from now, just to play. There we go. I give myself permission to experience oneness again.
I give myself permission to experience oneness again.
And I know I'm not separate.
And I know I'm not separate.
And never have been.
I never have been.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
Tanya, may I ask, where does this inverted grid thing come from? I mean, is this like a past life thing or ancestral, or could it be a combination?
That's, sometimes we want to know why, and that just sends us in more rabbit holes that we don't need to go down.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
And, there's there's so many facets to how certain patterns come in place, why we have the certain core lessons that we're working through in this lifetime. And, we'll get caught up on the why, or we'll get caught up on the how. And really, it's just supporting our systems and taking our next step with confidence. And that's where the
Okay.
healing's at.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much. That was
You're welcome.
awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Darius, as well.
Thank you, Haya. Absolutely. Amazing. She's awesome, and she's been here, going in and just connecting and ascending and learning and bringing forward what's coming up. I love it. And Christina said many, many juicy yawns with this one. Yeah, absolutely. I started yawning and my head is buzzing. I love this. Love, yeah, that's part of receiving. I think, Tina, that might come into the process today, so I hope we can get to that. Thank you for that question. Let me know what's going on with all of you. What are you feeling? Tanya is a powerful healer, 100%. We love Tanya. She's amazing. She's golden. Yeah, you're getting a lot of love here, Tanya. You deserve it. Amazing. Okay, so what I want to do maybe right now, I know you've been planning something pretty awesome. It's called a New Year Abundance Reset. And for a lot of people, forget about the first of the year, the second of the year. That's just playtime. Now we're in the point where, okay, we've gotten past all of that stuff, and now we're into the flow. We're surfing the wave. We're collapsing, or we're operating from the wave function, or we're collapsing. Now's the time. What are we going to do to really move into a new space in this year going forward?
Mm. Do you want to just go right into the process?
I don't know. Well, yeah, if you want to tell us what we're going to do, for about, or we just go right into. Oh, but I'm going to do something else. I'm going to stop the live stream. For the people that are plugging in all over Facebook and YouTube, I'm so sorry, guys. I want to make sure y'all are not driving, not operating heavy equipment, and you kind of are on our page with our disclaimers. So I'm going to cut the live stream. If you're listening on one of those platforms, just go to uwealthrevolution.com/Tanya, Tanja 30. We're going to post the full replay there. And then Tanya, yeah,
And
whatever you
and
want to
quick
do.
and a quick answer to your question too is
Yeah.
just softening into receiving.
Okay.
Softening into, it's not about clearing anything as much as it's just dropping the dead weight and softening into receiving mode. So that's what we're going to be doing.
All right, everyone. I'm going to cut the live stream for not y'all on Zoom, but everyone else. Go listen to the replay. It's going to be posted at 8. And then for the rest of us that are here, Tanya,